Shalom, Pasadenians. It is I, your friendly neighborhood Rabbi John Carrier, excited to be with you for counting of the 18th day of the Omer. That's Chai. That's a very Jewish number. This week we're talking about Tiferet, this holy attribute of balance, especially balance between Chesed and Gevurah, or between loving kindness and judgment. I've told you my favorite story about Tiferet, where the rabbis are discussing in the Talmud what the content of God's prayer is. And Rabbi Zutra said that God prays that God's mercy will outweigh God's anger, which, in addition to positing the idea that God indeed prays, which I think is pretty cool, it also teaches us that this balance that we're talking about doesn't exactly have to be 50-50, with Chesed and Gevurah not outweighing each other. The important thing is striking the right balance. Yesterday, I asked you to think of a Tiferet role model. Who's somebody in your life or somebody throughout history who exemplifies this balance between Chesed and Gevurah? Today, you're the role model. If you've been counting the Omer along with me so far, you begin to see a pattern that on certain days I'll ask you to think about certain things. At this point in the week, I'd like you to think about you. When have you exhibited this particular attribute? Because I think it's important to acknowledge success, especially when we're looking at these attributes as things that we aspire to. It's nice to notice when we've actually accomplished something there. That way, when we make your Tiferet plan at the end of the week, you're not like, oh, that's impossible. I could never do that. I've never done it before. When in fact, I'm pretty sure you have. And noticing your success in the past gives you strength to grow in the future. So the question of the day is, when have you exhibited Tiferet? Look back on actions you've taken or decisions you've made in the past where you really feel good about the balance that you struck between Chesed and Gevurah. Maybe it was a time where you felt like being really generous and giving and loving, but you had to moderate it with some good judgment. Otherwise, you thought you might go too far. Alternatively, maybe there was a time that required harsh judgment or a decision you had to make with some serious implications, but you found a way to moderate it with kindness. So those are examples of the kinds of things that I want you to think about. Everybody's going to have a different story, whether it's compassion moderated with judgment or judgment moderated with compassion. The question of the day is, when have you successfully emulated this divine attribute of Tiferet, balance? Let us know in the comments below this video. Email me back, write it down in your journal so you can look back on this moment of success when you're making your plan for the future. Don't forget to count day number 18 of the Omer tonight after dark. And until next time, Pasadenians, shalom.